Well, we're happy to welcome today's speaker, Gerd Maria May, who's a Danish journalist, author, and founder of the media consultancy Rooms of Solution. Last year, she published a book on constructive journalism and on her work called Fra Tårn til Torv. It's only in Danish yet. In this talk, she will tell about how a teaching program teaches the students about constructive journalism and how to help them participate in the local political arena through their local media. At the same time, it aims to help the media get in touch with the young people from their community. Well, Gerd, please go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, I will share the screen and show you some slides. Okay, well, to start with, I was given the task from a local media, a regional media called Stifterne, to figure out how can we get in touch with the young people in our community. As you probably know, no young people read the newspaper, they do a lot of other stuff. So how can this old-fashioned media become relevant? And we tried a lot of stuff and nothing really worked. So I thought, okay, let's find them where they are, where they cannot get away from us. So I teamed up with a high school teacher, and we created this program where we could, which could be relevant for the high school teachers to use in their curriculum when they were teaching. And we know that the young people, they are not in the public discussions, and they are not reading the newspaper, they are not taking part in the local politics, but they are actually interested in a lot of stuff going on, but it kind of feels like that we don't have the way for them to connect with the authorities and so on. So instead, we went where they were, where they couldn't get away. So I created this 7 weeks teaching program, which were aimed for the Danish course in the high school, because at least in Denmark, the media is now like almost a third of the curriculum in Danish courses in high school. So it's very big part of what the high school teachers must teach the young people. But high school teachers don't know that much about media. They are teachers. They haven't been in a newsroom. So I thought, maybe we could help the high school teachers, help the young people, and thereby help the young people get in touch with authorities. And kind of, I figured out that this could be a way where everybody involved gained something from this. So that was kind of why I ended up in the high school. And of course, you could say the high school students, that's the young people with the good education and the rich parents and all that. Yeah, I haven't figured everything out yet. This is how far I got. So this is for, but actually this year I will be doing this course for other kind of educations for young people, which are training to become a carpenter or whatever. That will not be for 7 weeks, but we'll try to fit it into their curriculum as well. Okay. To do that, I created this 7 weeks program. And for week 1, which is, I think, actually the most important week at all, because that is where I meet the young people for the first time. Either I go out there and give this presentation where I am in the same room as they are. But when I have a lot of programs going on at the same time, that is not possible. Or when we have this Corona situation, it's of course not possible. Then I have recorded a video where I do this presentation about what is constructive journalism, how can they actually take part in the discussion, debate, and kind of give them this framework. I have created this model called STEP in English, which is a way of defining a good story. And STEP stands for solutions, trust, engagement, and perspective. So that is what I kind of teach them in week 1, this model. How can they use it, and if they work with the STEP model, how can they actually come up with possible solutions to the problems that they think are the most relevant issues in their community. So week 1, they kind of get this new information about journalism, and then I tell them, now you are the chief editor. Now it's up to you to decide what should be on the agenda. So they choose the subject they want to work with. And then I have combined the high school with their local media. So they know that this is not only something we're doing for the teacher, this is something that will actually be published if it's good enough. Then for the next weeks, they will research and produce journalism. And then at the end of the period, we will have this town hall meeting where we meet with the people in charge of whatever issues that they have worked with. So that is kind of, in short, what we're doing. And I think that one of the main things why this has worked for 4 years now, and the high schools that has participated want to participate again the year after, so it's only growing, and the media want to take part of it as well. And I think one of the main reasons is that it's not only a school project. This is actually for real, that the students become editors. And it's not only that they do something for their teacher, but and the reason I say that again and again is that it's so important that they feel that they are being heard, and that what they are working with is actually important for the people in charge. And that is kind of the thing that I think we must, as journalists, figure out. How can we meet the young people where they are? How can we talk to them about what do they think are the most important issues, and then start there and work with them to figure out what could be possible solutions in a way where they feel that it is their story, that it is not us writing about them, but it is their story. And I think one of the ways we're doing that is that I tell the journalists that now you are teachers. And that is also, I would say, I don't know how many of you here have been manager for journalists, but tell them that now you should do something completely different is also something that you have to spend some time on. But I think when we have figured out a way, it has actually, it's working in a way where the journalists afterwards say, okay, wow, that was a great experience, because they feel that they actually have something that they could give to the young people that they appreciate. And we do it in a way where first I tell the young people about constructive journalism. I tell them about the STEP model, and then I tell them to choose the subjects. Then they go back into the classroom with their teachers, and they figure out, now they have this subject, what could be a story around this subject? And then they come up with some story ideas, and then the journalists from their local media come into the classroom and talk to the students about their ideas. They have this editorial meeting where they get feedback, and the journalists are coaching the students on what sources should they use, and what kind of facts do they need to check and get into, and so on. And then the students go back into the classroom, the journalists go back into their life, and then next week the journalists come back, and now the students have written the first outcast of the articles, or done the podcast or video or whatever media they're working with. And then they get some feedback and coaching again from the journalist, work with it again, and then they have one more round, and the journalists come back after a week or two and choose what are the best products, what are the best articles, and could some of it be published. And then the journalists help the students create this town hall meeting where they help the students invite the right people and figure out a way that the students could present their problems and possible solutions. And then we choose some of the stories and they get published. And that is entirely up to the journalist. I have nothing to do with that. That is the journalist to decide, is this good enough or is it not? And sometimes the journalists say, none of what the students have created is of a high enough standard to get published, but I could write something with them about this topic. So that is also a way of doing it. And that's up to the media outlet where they want to go with it. And I have tried that. One media outlet published 60 stories in an online, on their online media outlet in a specific area where it was for students. And I have experienced that some media have published several pages. This edition is about what the young people think are important right now, and now you can read about this. So the media outlets are covering this in different ways, but it is very important that the young people see themselves in the media, that it is not only something that we talk about, but that something get in the newspaper. Okay, then we have the meeting in the room of solutions where it all ends. And that is a debate form I have created, which is constructive and engaging. And as you can see, all the participants get a red and a green piece of paper, something like these. Everybody get that when they get into the room. And then I have invited young people have invited the panel, who are people who could actually do something about this. The pictures are from a town hall meeting where the young people, one of the topics were that the youth house they had in this community wasn't working, and nobody used it. And then we talked about what could be done about it. And the people in the panel is the mayor of the city, and it's the person who is in charge of this youth house, and it is some expert. These were the people who could actually do something about this youth house so that it could fit to the young people. And then we talk about it, discuss it, and I moderate this debate, and then I ask the young people, have you ever been to the youth house? And then they, yes, we have. It's green. No, we haven't. Red. Do you like it? Yes or no? Would you want to come again? You know, all these questions. So I kind of engage the people participating, so that they all the time have to kind of answer what they're saying in the panel as well. And in this situation, it came up with the fact that the young people thought that this youth hub was it was ugly and like old-fashioned, and it was kind of an old thing. So we came up with the idea that it should be fixed, and how could we do that? But then the mayor said, okay, if 20 of you want to spend a weekend painting this youth house, then I will pay for the painting and I'll participate. Then I asked, does any one of you want to participate? And then when I could count 20 green pieces of paper, I turned to the mayor and said, okay, are you in? Are we doing this? Yep, we're doing this. And say, okay, in the break, you'll meet down there in the corner and set a date. And then they went together to the youth house and painted it. And of course, that didn't solve the issue and totally, but all the young people participating this night got the sense that I can actually do something, that it is actually possible to get in touch with the people who are in charge and change what is happening, change what is going on. And if I kind of engage myself into the problems, I could be part of the solutions. So that was a concrete example of how we did it. And then I think it's also important that as a media, now we are a partner in this. It is not from the media to the young people, but it is a partnership where we help each other so that the young people get heard, the teachers get help to teach journalism, but the media get help to get in touch with the young people and get help to understand what is actually going on. And some of the pictures here are from a conference I am giving once a year now, where high school teachers can come and learn about journalism. And of course, every time there's something about constructive journalism as well. And the high schools who want to participate in this project can come and meet with the journalists that they should work with and so on. So that is a role I'm trying to give. Yeah, I have 2 minutes, I think. I will keep the time. One of the things that came out of the first time we did this was a podcast. I had a little money from Fyns Stiftstidende that I could hire a student like 5 times a week or 5 hours a week to do some helping. I didn't actually know what he should do, but I thought we have to do something to kind of stay in touch with these young people. So I had Victor, which is one of these guys on the picture. And after a month or so, he came to me and he said, what about if I started a weekly podcast about what is going on in our community? Yeah, and I will do it by reading the paper version of the free paper version called an Uravis in Denmark, which is really for old people normally. And I have a friend and we'll do it together in my room. Okay, and we'll just do it with our phones and let's see. Yeah, okay, I said, and I said, I don't know what is happening now. And they started by trying, and we put the link out on the Facebook page and so on. And after a year, their podcast is still going, and it is one of the most heard podcasts from this local media house. So it is actually kind of things are happening if we let go. I didn't come up with the idea about this podcast. The young people did themselves. We just gave them the space as a partner. Then I created a book about this program, which is called Ryk din Verden, Move Your World, which is a digital teaching program that the Danish high school teachers are using when they're doing this. And I have some official recommendations from the ministry, from the principals, from the Danish Teachers Associations. And I think that is also important to kind of give it some ponders, give it so that it's not only something that the media say this is important or this is good, but actually go out and make sure that this is on a high enough level for the educators to use it. So I spent some time on that as well.
I think the 50 minutes are about to. Time flies.
Two slides. I think then I'm done. I just say that we did. Then the COVID situation came along, and I didn't know what to do, but we actually did it with on Zoom as well. And this is a picture from a room of solutions on Zoom, where I just told the students, please find something red and something green, and then we'll do it. And as you can see, there are flowers and clothes and bottles and whatever, but it worked out as well. And then you are all invited, I would say, because 1st of September, I'm doing this conference for high school teachers, but there's also journalists taking part of it, where everybody can come and learn about journalism, constructive local journalism for the high school students. It's aimed for the high school teachers, but yeah, of course you're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you. Is that in Danish or in English?
It's in Danish, yeah. So
okay, well, thank you. Is it online or is it live?
No, it's live. You have to come to Odense to meet me in person.
We narrow it down now.
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. It was very interesting. Laura, will you take it from here?
Yes, excellent. Thank you for the talk. I think we all have plenty of questions and ideas.